What's going on with y'all? Smash that like, come in, come in, come in. Trump versus Obama. Have Temu communists taking over America. Y'all know all these democratic socialists, they're closet communists. Have they taken over the American political parties? Because shit, Donald Trump and them, they pushing a communist manifesto with the Project 2025. And then these democratic socialists are straight up pushing a communist manifesto. So on both sides, and then different angles of this socialist stuff, have they taken over American politics? I would say it probably would be the next frontier because for now they got the two parties, the Democratic and the Republican, and the Americans are not too satisfied with the Democratic Republican parties. MAGA has managed to eke out an existence alongside these two groups. Out of nowhere, MAGA is in the conversation that's even like an entity. At first, y'all was like, it's an ideology. It's not really. Yo, MAGA is a fully up and running machine. Believe that. I don't know how closely associated they with Donald Trump now. Maybe still not just separated because there is his core group of people. But MAGA is not just some red hat, a hashtag, and a refurbished presidential quote. Smash that like. What's going on, Bean? What's up with you, fam? You think the communists and the socialists and everything taking over American politics on both sides? You know what I'm saying? Smash that like. Would you vote for Obama right now? Smash that like. And then have you heard the new updates on the Nolan wall shit? There's so much stuff going on. They got a picture going around trying to pinpoint him in, I think, Florida. Like it's too much going on for nothing to not been going on in that situation. Beans and rice, what you got going on tonight? Beans. Progressive socialists have hijacked the Democratic Party to implement their agenda as they take the entire Democrat Party off a cliff. Right. But you can't fault them. You got to fault the Democratic Party for getting in bed with them for their funding. They probably funded them motherfuckers for so many. You say no, they probably, you wouldn't vote for Obama. Smash that like. Name 3 reasons why you wouldn't vote for Obama. Smash that like, y'all. 10 of y'all in here, man. Temu communists, because all of them learned that shit from college. They sat back discussing Camus and Hegel and Nietzsche and all these um, obscure theories of politics. And now, as they get adult, they never in their wildest dreams imagine that they will have a chance to implement some of this shit. It's like A lot of them are seriously into this communism stuff. Like from a kid, they always been leaning towards the socialists, and now this their chance. They need their support to compete with Republicans, yet their support has turned the vast majority of the U.S. against them. I'm telling you, the Democratic Socialists, they came out of nowhere, and you know it's different branches of them, as well as the Mamdanis with all the policies and stuff. It's also the neo Nazis that are a faction of that stuff too, man. All of them are committing fraud, so it just makes no sense if any of them defended. All of them are committing fraud, man. Smash that like. I say Obama was showing signs of democratic socialism as well as Trump is showing signs of it by way of pretending to be a strong man. He's being controlled by the military industrial complex, in my opinion. So he has got away from being the president. You know, he's more leaning towards the commander in chief position. President is being the president is secondary. He's a warmonger now, war hawk. He's doing a lot of military missions. I can't people. Everything that they're doing abroad is military missions. There's no humanitarian in it. He ain't closely associated. He ain't even in the same realm as the senators and the congressmen. He don't even he go around them with executive orders because he's commander in chief. Kathy, you love them as president. Okay. You name 3 reasons why? There's no such thing as democratic socialists. They are progressive socialists running as democrats. Well, how are you going to tell them what they are if they call themselves democrat socialists? It's some progressive socialists, but for the most part, I've been hearing them call themselves democrat socialists. And matter of fact, Hitler was a democratic socialist, and also Trotsky, as opposed of Lenin and Stalin, were communists. So, in the wake of Lenin's demise, that's why Trotsky got ran out to Mexico because, you know what I mean, the communists was shit. We better to crush shit. Trotsky had to get out of there. He had to got there going fight his socialist fight from Mexico. Smash that like, y'all. I say all of this shit is playing into Heidel's theory of where they say another culture might wipe out the white culture, so they easily try to assimilate and then rebrand. Right, and no, and then just falling under the banner of the Democratic Party. They just falling under that banner as well as like the Republicans got a lot of people under their banner. But also under that banner with the Democrats is also the LGBTQ, which I think funds it all, and also the Democratic Socialists that are on the neo-Nazi side. And what they managed to do with their war chest is flip the regular Democrats and push them out the way. And now they are the face of the party. Hey, you can't tell we're not Democrats because we're just a branch of the main body. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. They done took over. They got middle America on lock. They're set to be in power in Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles. And we all know Mom Donna's reign over New York City right now. But I just say, with Democratic Socialists, the problem I have with Democratic Socialists is that when you get a certain amount of wealth, they're going to look at you like food. Now, you're going to have to foot their bill or whatever excesses they deem that people need. If people need free water fountains, they're going to charge you because you have managed to attain a certain amount of wealth. And what's that going to create? A vacuum, because nobody is going to want to create these wealth, I mean, bastions and have it taken away. So that's where I see they wrong at. I don't fuck with them. I don't see nothing they saying is right because in the end, when you ask them where they gonna get the money for all this shit at, it's you. When all the rich people, they say we're gonna tax the rich, but what happens when all the rich people money gone? Stinky. They always come in here and say that the KKK was a Democratic organization, but it was non-denominational. Everybody joined. You do realize that. No matter who, you know what I mean, started it, everybody joined the KKK, man. Chilling hard, right? What's up with you? Let's politicking, you know, politicking. Hard right. Would you vote for Obama? And what y'all think about these all these communists and democratic socialists popping up out of nowhere? But similarly, is it really out of nowhere? The whole time while we've been listening to rap music and um, drinking Mike's hard apple cider on the other side of things, you know what I mean? We've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. These people have taken control, in my opinion. Wealth redistribution is a pipe dream progressive socialists are captivating the youth with. Right. They don't want them to have shit. They wear those dirty sneakers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Fight the man. Yeah, and then they become the man, the dentist. I mean, no. I mean, have aspirations. That's why you keep on living. You know what I mean? You set a long term and a short term goal and you try to reach them and enjoy your life. It's too much work being a socialist or a communist. Too much work. Smash that life. And it's especially they trying to turn it on to a nation of consumers. You're trying to take people off the what it is they trying to kind of detox the consumer. That's what they're gonna have to do. To detox these consumers. Smash that like y'all. That shit crazy, man. I do not agree with it. It's like, why? And for years we played with it. Everybody was talking about it's coming. They might be here. Now, fuck around. They getting elected every fucking where. Like, and with the majority, they can set their own ticket. You feel me? With the majority, you know what I mean? I know that was crazy. I was just having a whole conversation with y'all without the microphone on. But yeah, that is crazy. What's going on in the problem tree? What's up with you? Chickadee check hard, right? That's what it is. Shit, y'all see what the projects look like in my area, and if you haven't, get over there and check out the BMC free water giveaway. Yo, the project's looking more and more better, but is it getting more and more better? You know what I'm saying? Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. But I'm telling you, they came out of nowhere. These daggone Democratic Socialists, or did they? We played with it for years. Like all of these people went to college, and that was they. You know what I mean? They minor. You know what I'm saying? Political studies. They sitting back smoking weed and talking about insurgents and um um provocateurs. What's that? Something provocateurs. What's the word that goes with the provocateur? That's that communist and all that shit talk. I mean, overthrowing and now seemingly they the anti January Sixers. The January Sixers, they taught that militia, America for the this and that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, I'm a proud this and that. But these motherfuckers, they taught that revolution. I mean, along the same lines, but different ways of going about it, ideology. Because these motherfuckers, these democratic socialists, they talk that shit. They be back, sitting back high on coke or whatever. There's no staunch. What are you doing? This is God's army. Not there. There, it's all kind of people that with the weirdest concepts of it. That's what I mean. And that's the problem. That's what might make it work. All the weird shit about it. You know what I'm saying? But what is it? The something provocateur. But all that talk of insurgents and shit. Agent provocateurs. Okay. Smash that like. What's going on here, Billy? What you think? You think Temu communists don't take over America? Is America have America been infiltrated by a bunch of Temu communists? And would you vote for Obama? Smash that like, take your pick, whatever one you want to take a shot at. Have y'all been hearing the update on the young boy Nolan Wells? They said they got some pictures of him at a pool party around 1:30. Wow, when his people's already had the phone. Who knows, man? I mean, who knows? They say they left him and he went to a pool party. That's crazy, but it is what it is. The truth shall set you free. What up, hillbilly? Howdy, howdy. That's what it is. Yeah, Lindsey Graham passed. You know what I'm saying? He gone. I say, like to hear one of those guys pass, it's like, you know, a lot of them need to be out of office. Those older people like Lindsey Graham and um, Donald Trump, even all those old people, they need to be home. Who's going to hell, Lori? I'm not Lindsay. Lori just came in. What's up, Lori? You say you going to hell? I just read that shit. Like, what? Who's going to hell? Not Lindsay. Agreed to get him, huh? Do you remember the brother who got unalived by the whitey that didn't have arms? I don't remember that, Pamela. No, I don't. Do you remember the white dude from South Africa? I believe it was somewhere in Africa. He don't have legs. You might have seen him running in like the Special Olympics. He got those legs like forks, and he be running. You know, he killed his girlfriend. He went to prison and everything, served his sentence, and now he home. Do y'all remember that guy? He had the like fork legs. They used to show him, like when the internet first started popping, they would show him running and shit with them legs. Yeah, he killed his girlfriend, did his little time, and got out. That's what they said. I'm gonna tell you this. I saw one that said he got off the phone with Donald Trump, and then next thing you know, it's crazy. Damn. You said if he could run again, you would vote for him. Okay, okay. What are some of the things you liked about Barack that you would, I mean, get behind him again? Have y'all heard of that dude though? The dude with the legs. Smash that like it's 8 likes in here, man. It's 9 people. I mean, at least one of y'all ain't even. I mean, I just got bought by a liberal man claiming by a woman because they asked chat to. Hold on. I just got blocked by a liberal man claiming to be a woman because they asked the chat to explain male, female, and you still have dinger. You a man can play as a woman. Yep, I agree with you. I agree with you. Who is Dayton Weber? Smash that like, y'all. Have the Temu comments taking over America, y'all. Temu comment is taking over America. No, just tell me who Dayton Weber is, man. Smash that like. Fat Trump has been awarded. Uh, Maybe he might have put pressure on the judge, Russell. What's your opinion on democratic socialism, Russell? And also, Russell, are you MAGA? Because you know what? MAGA, they don't hear shit. They got tunnel vision. Whatever you say, they're going to say Trump, 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 Trump. No matter what you say. So, you got it. They already tunnel vision up. The liberals may be, if you can find out what's their pet peeve, liberals, all of them have a fight they're fighting. Maybe it's the rainforest or what. I mean, what's going on, Christian? But the free shit they gonna give you ain't gonna be what you want. It's gonna be what they think you need. There's no excess in socialism. What's your opinion on socialism, Christian? Lori says the convicted who killed his girlfriend got a little time for it, and now he's out of jail. Shows the proof that the female life is not worth nothing. Okay, okay, that's what it is. Martellio, what's going on? Mob shit for sure, family. I mean, it's all good if you want to troll in. Shit. We know how to get you fired like Donald Trump said. You're fired. We know how to get you ass out of here, dude. Exactly. All they say is TDS or lip turd or Trump's the best or mental illness or you read Jesus or liberals actually react. But on the flip side, everybody else, the same people that villainize Hitler and tell y'all not to wear Hitler shirts and no swastikas and Hitler and them were bad, or do this the opposite. The people that are opposite of these guys you're saying, the lip turds and everything, they'll say, it's the Jews. Down with the Jews, burn the Jews. But wait a minute. Hitler told y'all that shit. It wasn't cool. But it's just like y'all do black people. 10 years later, you'll be on the bandwagon. So is it maybe y'all think Hitler is right? Or was Hitler right? Or is he wrong? What? Can somebody tell me that? One of you guys that always say it's the Jews. So was Hitler right or was he wrong? Somebody answer that because that's a, you know what, that's a white on white problem too. So I want a white on white person to answer it. Cause I can only answer that biasly. I'm a major racist because I asked a question about Hitler. I asked, was Hitler right or wrong if everything that y'all do now, y'all blame on the Jews and AAPA, APAC, what is it? And all that stuff, Netanyahu. It's the Jews. They run everything. So that was the same thing that Hitler was saying. But y'all had y'all head down when his name mentioned. You can't even show a shirt with Hitler up there. You can't even have a swastika because it's associated with Hitler and what he did to the Jews. But all of you guys are coming here and say, down with the Jews. It's the Jews. They're running Donald Trump. Wow. So can somebody answer that? The Austrian painter. He wasn't even a painter. He was a novice painter. He didn't even get into painting school. That's what led him to his goddamn meeting up with all them occultists and everybody that put him in power. He didn't even go to get into the school. Chillin' Sassy Measy, what's been up with you? How was your Sunday? Measy Lee? What's up, player? They do the Gaza like they do the country of the month. One month it was Palestine, and next month I heard y'all cheering for Iran. They freed Iran. Next thing you know, everybody blow them up. They're gonna blow Iran up. I don't like Muslims. Y'all the motherfuckers don't know what y'all like. Y'all remember that? In the beginning of this Operation Full Fury, y'all was they liberating Iran. They're in the streets cheering. I was like, no, they're not. And then y'all was blow them up. We hate all Muslims. Yeah, y'all do. You know what I mean? But are y'all at war with Iran or are y'all at war with Islam? Yeah, even the same thing with Hitler. They denounced everything. Hitler was wrong. No, Hitler was wrong. But now you come in here in the next live stream and say it was the Jews. Down with the Jews. That's what Hitler was saying, right? What made him so? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me about it. Smash that like. True indeed, and maybe he did, Martello, but who cares? I'm not even talking about why everything got to come down to what you got to bring somebody about a black person up when a black person's talking. No, I was just making a comparison of how people villainize Hitler, but the same people that they say Hitler was a villain too, they'll turn around and villainize those people too, and also, you know what I mean, ridicule them and accuse them of things. So it don't make sense. Nobody said he was. I was just making a comparison. See how y'all can't follow the stuff, follow the shit because y'all ashamed of that shit. Nobody wants to give me a direct answer about it. What's going on, insatiable? Chilling, 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 chilling. A lot of trigger words, man, with Europeans, man. I'm telling y'all. But you'll say the black people are the ones. You know what I mean? A lot of trigger words. Smash that like y'all. Chilling, fam. Just chilling out. Trying to duck these Temu communists. How's y'all summer going, man, so far? Can you name three ways how you enjoy your white privilege, Edward? Wow, hit dog gonna holler. God damn. I just put that up there. You just, god damn, where was you at? You was around the corner with your waiting on somebody to say some shit like that. Salute, Measy we. Salute, greatly appreciated, Sassy Mo. Greatly appreciated. Mm-hmm. Greatly appreciated. Summer breeze, take me away. Um, no, it didn't. It didn't block your comment. Why would it block your comment? Was it saying something crazy? Sassy Mo, have you seen more and more is coming out? Have you seen the picture where they say the young boy was at a beach, a pool party in Florida? Shit, crazy. Wow, you did not explain white privilege hard, right? Explain it for real. Stop dealing with your feelings, fam. If it exists, explain it. Because evidently you must think it exists because you try to get sarcastic. But can you explain it to me? All right. I'm not going. It's not the debate against you. I'm just trying to see where you at, fam. God damn. Y'all can never go at something intellectually. You always go at it, you know what I mean, head first. But you know what? Fools rush in. So evaluate the question, then give me an educated, you know what I mean, answer on what you think, fam. It ain't always got to be rah rah. Like I told you, I'm gonna put a trigger word up. You didn't pay no attention, and then you went right in on it, family. Wow. And you can't stop nobody from having white privilege because guess what? It's for sale now. Even after, especially after desegregation, anywhere we wanted to live, we can live now. Remember, it was white communities, white stores, white speakeasies, white you know what I mean, diner counters. You know, we couldn't get a Coca-Cola in the front. We had to go to the back door. So we created our own enterprise. So that's what I'm saying about white privilege. It's anybody that can afford that quality of life now. So it does not really exist, or is not unattainable by people that are not white. So when I say white privilege, not only are white people indulging in it, people of all colors that are Americans are indulging in it. Okay, remember when the straight white Protestant male, who this country is designed around, was the only person that could get lit because everybody else here was either a um, indentured servant or a slave. And after all of these, we come up to 250 years. Now white privilege has metamorphosized into American privilege. So now, as long as we got the debits and credits in our accounts, we can get anything we want, and to at our door, literally. Know what I mean? Yep, up or down. Smash that like. Austrian painter admired a black dude who won the sprint at the Olympics. Yup, and it also split that one thing at the Olympics, Christian. It also split up Puma and Adidas. They used to be brothers that had a shoe company, and Jesse Owens had the motherfucking contract with him. He ran past Hitler and them motherfuckers. And that right there, when he did all that stuff, because Hitler and them, one brother took the side of Hitler and them, the other one took the side of freedom and justice and equality, so they say, for all. But yeah, smash that like. You say it's just another way to provide the poor, right? Because no, and it'll give the poor something to fuck each other over to reach. It's white privilege because anybody can reach it now, as long as you got the money. We don't found the key to it. It's money. You got to pay for the American dream. This shit ain't free. Just because you white, they not gonna give you no house, no dog, no car, and a soccer mom van, and your kids going to band practice and playing high school ball and got all that sweet ass equipment. They're not gonna give you that shit. That shit costs. So the white privilege that does exist, when you do get accepted into the secret society, all we ask is trust, because you got the bucks, can easily be taken away too. So it's not, y'all don't understand it because y'all only can deal with it on white and black. You know what I mean? Have you seen other white here in the South disseminate against me for being a Yankee white? So yes, I could imagine it does. Okay. Because they automatically assume that you are of the rich elite. Like, I'm telling you, they already automatically, because you're not from around, they assume you some rich guy. Exactly, there's plenty of secret societies. And that's crazy that whites hate whites more than they hate anyone else. But then somebody will come in here and say that about blacks. They'll say, well, black on black crime, y'all are killing each other, and well, tell black people to stop. You know what I'm saying? Can I ask you something, ASAP? What's your nationality? Are you black or are you white? Because you speaking like an American. That's why I'm asking you that. I can't really say you leaning towards nothing. I mean, you're in the middle with it. Wow, Drew, and white fatigue is real too. So I mean, white privilege is real. All of this stuff, we got to be aware of it, Drew. How's your evening? Answer the question, Drew. Does white privilege exist? In your own opinion. It's 15 people in here. Let's get them likes up. 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 Trump versus Obama. Have Temu communists taking over America? Justice for Nolan? Question mark. And who divided America? Take your pick. But that is crazy that that's why I wanted to know you. Okay, see, I am white in every white neighborhood I live in, they out to get each other. And that's crazy. And they say that about every black neighborhood. We're out to get each other. No, we're out to kill each other, as they say. But you know what I'm saying? So that's what Americans have in common, right? We all are out to get each other. You see what I'm saying? I like that. Thank you for that, man. What can you do as a white guy that I can't? Eat a bunch of mayonnaise? Because I can't. I just can't. And what you can do as a white guy that I can't? You can be a white guy. I can never be a white guy because I'm a black man. And I can never be a veteran. In my Chuck D voice. Smash that like. I lived in multicultural neighborhoods and everyone gets along well. Right. That's why I live in a multicultural neighborhood. Middle class. Nobody ain't out here net banging on each other. Smash that like. Who's to say it ain't gonna work, Drew? Because you said it ain't gonna work. There was no question. It was sarcasm. I gave you what you gave me. You feel me? What you talking about? Can't answer the question. Shit. You answer the question. Does white privilege exist? I know you ain't getting none, but you know in the back of your mind, like, yeah. I mean, 19 of y'all in here, man. Shut up. Out. Smash that like. I was watching Kanye wear a pair that has two heads, an eagle with the crown on top. Yep, it's the Masonic joint, and it's the double-headed eagle that the Russians, the Germans, all the families from that side of the royal people do they different variations of it. It's kind of like the symbol that was the symbol before the Nazis got in power. That was one of the symbols that the Reich Chancellor and them used. So it's kind of Marxist communist. Remember when he was hanging out with Nick Fuentes and them? That's when he was leaning more to the, you know what I mean, that radical stuff. And it was on his website. I got some of the shoes in there. I had one of those shirts. That was on. You can buy that shirt on his website, Sassy. That's what it is. You said no, it doesn't exist. And why do you say it doesn't exist, Jenny? And how are you tonight? Smash that like, everybody. Thanks for coming through. What laws? Jim Crow laws, dude. Starting for one. Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws. Smash that like. Any more questions, Drew? Yeah, what cat got your tongue or does codeine got your brain? Jim Crow laws, dude. You said what laws? They still exist. And matter of fact, all of us are under the Willie Lynch. You know what I mean? They're moving all of us like Willie Lynch told them to move us. Yeah, they still exist. What are you talking about? All of that, everything from its original slavery still exists. It's just all of us are just slaves to the United States plantation now. It's not one slave master, it's a collective. We slave to the corporations now. They bought out the slave masters. Like when they didn't really feed these slaves after the Civil War. Johnson paid all the slaveholders for their slaves, and they just released them into the United States plantation, making the United States the #1 owner of slaves in the world. Smash that like, y'all. Go look them up, Drew. I ain't got time. I'm too busy politicking, homie. You got to do the work, homie. All I can do, I mean, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink. And this donkey right here, Drew want water, so hey, come hold him, Joe. Nah, smash that like. I say, yup. And probably they ain't even they just started really getting rights in the 80s because the situation changed where white people start looking around like, God damn, I'm just as broke as they are. Shit, black people start kind of passing white people, even with the crack epidemic. Do you know how many entrepreneurs that built conglomerates out of what was supposed to destroy us? That was crazy. It was a gamble they took that they lost with the crack shit because it's not a staple in our communities no more. It's more on the fringes, and to see somebody doing crack is obscure and they thought of like a dinosaur. But to see a white person ask you about it, it's commonplace. Yo, you know, we got a crack. No, we don't have crack in our neighborhoods anymore. What the fuck is y'all doing over there in the trailer park? And then you'll go to the trailer park and you'll never see this in mainstream media, that there is a epidemic of crazy proportions of white young kids on crystal meth. It's like their culture, their society is the. Remember they was showing it at one time, and you know it still is because ain't none of them people getting no rehabilitation. When they had those little round pipes and they were smoking it and twirling and shit, you know white people say, hold on, I don't see none of those other guys up there. That's my grandson. Get him off TV. Now you don't see nothing about it, but it's still here because none of those people had any rehabilitation. Africa? Why y'all always bringing up Africa to some Americans, dude? That's the first fucking problem. Nah, dog, I ain't buying it. I am not buying it. Look at Sarah. Think of Sarah, let's not cry. I know she wanted that way. Hey, Sarah. No, that was Laura. No. Sarah, Sarah. Who that John Hall and Oates? Smash that like, man. It's only to get you in here, Sarah. Can't we have a conversation? I gotta put some shit up there like that to fuck with baby-minded people. Know what I mean? That's just a trigger word. That doesn't represent me. That's just words. 2 words. White privilege. Why does that infuriate you and make you call me a racist and all that stuff? Because hit dog gonna holler. You're not right, Sarah. Sarah, you're not. I don't judge either. I'm just, when I put up something like that, it's a trigger word. And a lot of times y'all are coming here head first and just start rambling off a bunch of shit. Hey, all I asked was does white privilege exist? I'm not neither here nor there with it. I'm not racist. I'm just trying to start a conversation with stuff like this. You know what I mean? But ain't nobody gave me an intelligent answer yet. It's all the same shit. Like if I say, well, Trump did this, you'll come in and say, well, what did Obama do for black people? That's that Charlie Kirk shit, man. We got to get out of that. When you pick up a seedless fruit, you're holding a future that can't produce. Pay attention, right? Seedless fruit, and what's the one? Is it a donkey or a mule that can't have babies? I think it's a mule. Don, don't know what's up with you, but you keep coming back. That's what it is. Smash that like. No, it seems I'm racist. I'm only trying to make a point. The only time I can get to y'all if it gotta seem like it's racist for you to respond. Other than that, y'all Americans, all y'all do is stay in y'all little cubby holes and cubicles and play your video games. But when I ask you for a response, it has to be something dramatic. It's always a hook got to be thrown in there. If the white privilege is this thing wasn't up there, you wouldn't even be in here. You'll be somewhere on PlayStation 5 waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out. You understand what I'm saying? But it piqued your interest. And that's all I'm saying as an American. You know, you see what the title is, Trump versus Obama. Have Temu communists taken over America? Justice for Nolan, who divided America. This ain't trying to divide us. I got to do some trickery to get your nutball ass in here. And now that you here, I mean, let's politic. Look, the 13% shit, that shit is so late. Who the fuck, man? Shit, they 43 years old, bro, playing PlayStation 5 right now, sitting in their drawers, eating a bowl of Lucky Charms. Age, you know what I mean? It does, Sassy Mo. Chaos, prayer. And that's all I'm saying. I'm sitting here chilling. I'm not, I mean, I know you are, Jared. Hit dog on holler then. I say that shit, you pop out. I asked you about your rights and birthright citizenship. You know, I don't speak English. I said Grand Theft Auto, you 50 years old, you pop out. You damn near spilled your bowl of Cocoa Puffs. Smash that light. I know you are, Jared. What can I do as a black man? I can't be a sucker like you to ask me a question like that. I can't eat mayonnaise, I told you. You keep asking me the dumb shit. Shit, you 30 years old. Well, you're thinking is 19, goddamn 19, so I can't tell. You're 30 years old, but you're living on a 90-year-old code of ethics. Don't know, cut it out. You wouldn't know the truth if it smacked you in the face like a hot glizzy and left mustard on your nose. Wow. Drew, how long did it take you to think of that? I'm telling you, they need to make a whole new white supremacist handbook. That for the content y'all gotta get y'all shit together, man. The shit that you're saying is like 1960s. It was when it was at its peak. Look, dude, some of these white people can't go to a sundown town. They don't even want them there. You ain't one of my cousins. Yep. Triggered. Look at you. You're triggered. I'm chilling. Nigga, I was the best Pac-Man player. I'll play all the boys and make that shit change and get a free Pac-Man, dude. What are you talking about? I played Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man Jr., Pac-Man Family. Watch the Pac-Man cartoon while I ate Pac-Man cereal. What are you talking about? My first video game was Tron that I got for Christmas, dude. I've been a Star Wars fanatic. My favorite character from Star Wars is goddamn any character that was in the Creature Cantina. Guido, Box, I mean, Boba Fett, Jabba the Hutt, the little dude with the clarinet. I mean, shorty with the chain around the neck. What do you think you're talking to, man? Yes, your average Joe Schmo. Man, you ain't shit compared to what we had then, dude. You Temu ass American. You ain't shit compared to what we had back then. You Temu ass American. Y'all done forgot what it is to be American. Pac-Man, Super Mario, Donkey Kong, Frogger, Galactica. Know what I'm saying? Dig Dug. Contra. Double Dragon. Galaxy, yeah. See, I told you if I talk that talk, we'll find out if we got something in common. That white privilege got y'all peaking. But just regular American conversation about pop culture got y'all conversating. See what I'm saying? I told you if I talk that talk, got y'all motherfucking central cortex peaking. Duck hunt. Bang, the duck hunt gun, you running around like it's a real gun. The tender was fire. Pinball. Pong. Pong. See what I'm saying? I told y'all we sat here long enough, we gonna find something we got in common as Americans, man. I told y'all that bullshit. And we sat here long enough, we will find something in common as Americans. Pitfall, okay, exactly. Pitfall. What does multicultural mean? Um, hard right. What does multicultural mean? But I told y'all that Tetris was the shit. Tetris came from Russia too. Yep, but we seem to have forgot that we was all together back then. We separate too much. You black guys this, you white guys that. But you remember in the 80s, I ain't give a fuck what color you was. Here, hand me that Coca-Cola. Cause it's cold as fuck and let's chill. Did you hear the new Duran Duran? What's going on with Boy George and them? Remember, we didn't give a fuck in the 80s about what color you was. Let's get it, you know what I'm saying? If we fought, we was friends the next day. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of this shit. And that was on all color schemes. You know they had their little pockets because this is America and it's built off differences. But as a whole, I came up, you know what I mean? White boys knew their lane, black guys knew their lane. You know what I mean? Everybody dated all kind of women. And that's just, it is what it is. Motherfucker, I just ate a salad. Tomatoes, onions, cucumbers, spinach. Motherfucker. We forgot about all that stuff though. Yeah, black people are rednecks too. I mean, it's a culture. Yep, go-karts and slingshots. Go-kart slingshots and them broomstick jumps with the clothing line. You put a rubber band out with a soda jump. Clubhouses and shit. We got clubhouses and, I mean, burying shit and dig it up and bury it. The motherfucking walkie-talkie ain't care who was on the other end of that shit. It was the walkie-talkie. Come in, Jojo. What are you doing? I'm in my bed. I'm looking out the window. Can you see me? I'm gonna flash the flashlight. I really did shit like that with people of all colors, white boys, black boys, Filipino boys. I mean, all kind of kids when I was a kid in my neighborhood. We used to do that shit, run around with the camouflage on. One day we played, we went to war with these white boys, but we had a mixed group. Man, them white boys went over there to the swamp, and I was just over there by that shit. Them white boys hid in that swamp for about 3 hours. And guess what? The head white boy name was Charlie Brown. They went sewer rat on our ass. You know what I'm saying? All of us had on camouflage. Everybody, we come out there with the full packs. And we literally walking through a little dismal swamp type of thing in our neighborhood. Like, them motherfuckers was there the whole time. That shit was crazy, man. But, just being a kid. And as an American, I came up with other American kids, man. Even the school I went to, I always been gifted and talented, above average in my learning, and that exposed me to a whole different culture of people and people that buy shit and don't care about how much it costs and all kind of stuff, man. Like I said, one of my best friends, his name was Danny Hofheimer, red freckle faced Jewish kid. His people had a shoe company, corporation, Hofheimer Shoes. You know what I mean? He was very generous and cool at the same time, and you know what I'm saying. All right, my G, that's what it is, Drew. Come back and politic with us because it's not about fucking black or white. That's just to get you in here. Because to talk to a baby ass minded motherfucker, I gotta feed y'all baby food, man. We Americans, man. Later, Drew. We didn't have time to be sat in front of the video game all day. Yeah, these kids don't even go outside. They watch kids open up toys and they watch kids play outside. Like, I'm so tired of Vlad and Nikki. I'm tired of the motherfuckers. Smash that like G.I. Joe. Oh man, come on, dog. You talking to the superhero. Let's talk G.I. Joe. That was my favorite. Look, G.I. Joe, when I had the big G.I. Joe when he had a little beard and he was going against Sasquatch and the lanterns and they fall down. And then when they shrunk his ass and I went crazy with it. Cobra Commanders and Destros and Zartans and Zamox and Tamox and you know what I'm saying? I was always on all that type of shit, man. My imagination was always crazy with it. Yeah, always on an adventure, catching bumblebees or eating blackbirds off of that tree every year, man. You know what I'm saying? Busting windows, even if you want to get devious, busting windows and knick-knacking, running. You know what I'm saying? Cops and robbers, riding bikes. Yup. Fireflies in the jar. I do that shit. All this stuff that we talking, I got some little kids at my wisdom age, and I make sure they experience stuff like that. Even with the finger painting and just wilding out. You know what I mean? It's family. Yup. That lightning bug stuff. Shrinky dinks. Yep. Okay. See what I'm saying? See how all of us are part of him all across America, but we have something in common. We had a childhood and we had fun. So why can't we, know what I mean, start there? Know what I mean? What have we lost that we had then? What have we lost, y'all, that we had then as Americans? That unity. Where the fuck is that? King Fire! Where is that unity at that we lost? How to go get, boy, you about to get sent to the house. You got to be black. They say, are you black? You got to be. Smash that like Johnny on the pony. Y'all terrible. God. That one killed it right there. Hey man, cut the fucking boy. Oh shit. Oh yeah. With that Prince shit. You from Minnesota? Man, when I was young, John and Wayne, man, these two black kids, they was from like Minneapolis, or they might have been from Ohio. But their sister and my sister was real cool, and I was cool with their sisters too, and their mom. But John and Wayne, John was the brother, Wayne was like the homeboy from wherever they was from, Ohio or Minnesota, right? They moved to my state. They was so thorough. They used to be on that print shit. They would have the ruffled shirts and they had the fucking, they didn't have a fucking Jerry curl. They had the Wave Nouveau because you know it was two different things back then. People don't know that. The Wave Nouveau was less oily and produced. The Wave Nouveau shit was supposed to give you that feel like, what's the young boy from Miami Vice, one of my favorite shits, Rico Tubbs? That had like Rico Tubbs got, it gave you that silky smooth look, know what I mean? That was my favorite show. Miami Vice, that was my shit. When they be riding with them drop top, and they ride in that drop top, and they be looking, and that Phil Collins or something come on, do 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 do. The motherfuckers riding, and then they go hit something, and fucking Rico got that little pump shotgun shit, and Sunday they be on that shit with no socks on, doing all this shit with Night Rider. That's my number 2. Doodle 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 doodle. Remember when Michael said, Kit, give me some money, and Kit turned into an ATM. Kit used to do some shit, and Kit was the first experience with computerized cars, but it was the AI program. Remember, Kit and Michael was the first two with the iPhone watches communicating. Michael, there are 2 men around the building. Hit him with a missile, Kit. You know what I mean? And that thing Michael had around his neck that no matter if Kit was deactivated, he would push that bitch and put Kit in motion. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you know what? They probably was the ones that wrote Project 2025. They probably be the real Heritage Foundation because remember, they were the Knight Foundation. And their whole thing was just like the shit they be saying that the Heritage Foundation and them about research and helping the people. I'm going to have to go rethink Knight Rider. But yeah, 18 was like that. 18 was like that. 18 was like a 4-man Rambo team. Because Rambo, that was one of my favorite shit. I say Knight Rider. 18 was my shit though. And my favorite 18 character was Face. Smooth, suave, and debonair. Emmanuel Lewis. Webster. He said Mr. T was somewhat sexy. Okay. It had all these dudes running around here with a mohawk and a bunch of jewelry on and little ass jumpers and shit. Oshkosh. Smash that like. That's crazy. See what we got so much in common as Americans. We ain't nobody said a kill comments or a black man is committing all the crimes with 13% of the population or white folks getting all the food stamps in a whole 10 minutes. You see what I'm saying? And there's at least 13 of y'all in here holding a good American conversation, man. But I'm going to ask you again. After all that, we done chopped it up. Can now you tell the truth? Does white privilege exist? Tell the truth, man. Twilight Zone, Sassy Mo, you are such a conspiracy theorist. Yes, that's my favorites too. Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. They had a show called Dr. Mad Blood in my area. Also Ripley's Believe It or Not, my favorite classics. Fantasy Island. They played, boss. I mean, Love Boat. Yeah, that Mohawk was. I even, I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite, my favorite world culture people, Grace Jones. My aunt had two albums that I was mesmerized by. She had the album with Grace Jones, Black as Night, just as beautiful as ever, on the cover. And then I seen her in Conan alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger, Wilt Chamberlain, and a myriad of other superstars. Um, it was Grace Jones, who, and she also was a Bond girl, the Bionic Woman and the Bionic Man. But Grace Jones and the Honey album. Y'all remember the what was that group? You opened up the album and they had the Honey. There was it the Ohio Players where they were pouring the honey on the damn near naked gal. I used to love that. That was so pornographic to me. I used to go to my aunt's house and open that motherfucker up and look at that shit every time. And I used to think I was doing something like, wow, that Honey shit was off. The Incredible Hulk. You won't like me when I'm angry. Y'all notice that was the getting us all ready for to be thinking about all this cryogenics and splitting cells and transgender and mutations and clones. It was getting us ready for all of that stuff by exposing us to that stuff. Because what was Incredible Hulk? He was gamma rays. Gamma rays triggered him. And everybody had a trigger. He-Man, his trigger was, I have the power with the sword. Okay? The greatest American hero. Okay. Okay. Believe it or not, I'm floating nowhere. Yeah, that was my shit too. I enjoyed my childhood. The greatest American hero, yup. And cause I'm one no stunt guy that make Redford look so good. Coach Siebers. Y'all remember Coach Siebers? Yeah. Coach Siebers. Remember Coach Siebers? Smash that like, y'all. The unknown stunt guy. Go Speed Racer, go. Speed Racer brother was the Racer X. The Bionic Man, yep. I had the Bionic Man action figure. His eye was a magnifying glass. You look behind his head and you look through his eye and it's a magnifying glass. The Brady Bunch for sure. The Brady Bunch was my shit. Alice was thorough as hell. She raised that family with her funny style as her and her boyfriend. But yeah, the Brady Bunch was my shit. Manimal, rah, with the cat and shit. Manimal, y'all went back. That Manimal was like that. For sure, with the cat shit. Yay. Remember Beauty and the Beast? Small Wonder. Okay, okay. Y'all going back. Bunch of latchkey kids in this motherfucker. The Monsters and the Addams Family. Which one you think was best? It was two different styles. The Addams Family was more dark. The Monsters were just pure comedy. Alf from Melmac kept eating cats and shit. Ain't that crazy? And Alf stands for alien life form. But I'll do you one. Mork and Mindy. Nanu. Shashbot. Alice, kiss my grits. Flo. Flo used to say, kiss my grits. Or when pigs fly. Y'all remember when pigs fly? Yeah. Mel's Diner. Smash that like. See, that's what I'm talking about as Americans. Can we enjoy a healthy conversation? Every day on this stream ain't got to be a bunch of back and forth. And just for one of these days, we can do 1,000 of them because maybe after this we can get to the resolve. You know what I mean? Does black privilege exist? Yeah, it does. It ain't really no merit in it and using having it. What you really want is white privilege. So get your money up. You feel me? Black privilege exists as well as white privilege, but white privilege is more prevalent. Morticia Adams, what's the dude from Love and Marriage? His wife was too. Shit, why you bullshitting? Yeah, Shashbot. Yeah, lunching out. They don't know that I'm a treasure trove for trivia. It's Jeopardy. I'm a Jeopardy demon. You know what I mean? Just Knowing things, that's my forte, you know what I'm saying? We ain't just got the fuss, man. Okay, that's what it is, yo, Maceo. Because everybody ain't gonna fucking be able to have it. You gotta get money to get white privilege. That shit ain't free. That's what I'm saying. Peg, yeah, Peg was thick as a motherfucker. Yeah, I used to watch all the game shows. Price is Right. Bob Barker be leaning when the wheel do. You like Bob, this cheating ass. Bob Barker. Oh, Carol Burnett, that's my shit. I also like Carol Burnett when she was on Mama's Family. Wow, Mama's Family was the equivalent of that British show that had the sisters Rose and the different flower names from the East End. Webster, Punky Brewster, uh, Different Strokes, Room 222. Smash that like The Art of War by Sun Tzu. For sure, my G. It's being practiced right now, Fambo. You feel me? You military minded. You know what's going on. Smash that like. How you, brother? Chucky, a Chucky. The walls are closing in on Charleston White. So I hear. So I hear. I told y'all. Dean Martin roast, Sammy Davis roast, fucking Lou Rawls singing on the March of Dimes. Remember, Sundays used to be boring but fun. You know what I mean? Soul Train might pop off, or all day preachers on Earth Channel, Ernest Angley, Dale by the Death Spirit Heal. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like y'all. Flipper the motherfucking dolphin. Gidget, shit. The Flying Nun, McHale's Navy. My favorite was of that genre was Gomer Pyle. Well, golly, you know he was a spinoff from Andy Griffith, and my favorite character on Andy Griffith, it was a tie. It was a triple tie between Andy Griffith because he was thorough as a motherfucker, Bonnie Fife because he had one bullet in his motherfucking pocket to his gun, and that motherfucking Ernest T. Bass. I'll bust your motherfucking window if you cross him. Ernest will get you. He like Donald Trump. That's who Donald Trump is, the Ernest T. Bass of politics. He gonna get your ass. He gonna hit you with a rock. Oh no, it was a gay sitcom. It was one guy had black hair, one guy had blonde hair, and I ain't talking about Balky and his cousin or his homeboy. Remember Balky Bactakamus? Worldwide of Sports. Remember the Worldwide of Sports used to be on ABC. They used to have cartoon characters doing that shit, all kind of stuff. Mr. Ed the Talking Horse. Lawrence Welk with the bubbles and shit. Notice way how you in there two-stepping. The Odd Couple. Nah, the Odd Couple was classic though. They classic, man. Them motherfuckers. I believe they was gay. Who was that? Was it Felix and what was their names? They was funny as fuck though. Fat Albert. You know that was Bill Cosby right there, Fat Albert. And him and his brother played two of the characters. Him and his brother, two of the characters was named after him and his brother. Bill and Russell. That was Bill Cosby and his brother. The Bosom Buddies, right? That's the one, Sassy. Richie Rich, okay. The cartoon Richie Rich. The dog name was Dollar. Laugh-ins with what shorty used to have the little things on her shit. The girl, the white girl. Beverly, oh my God. Beverly Hillbillies was so, you know what I mean? That shit was funny as hell. Beverly Hillbillies. Felix and Oscar was the Odd Couple, yeah. I believe they was a little gay too. Because I got an uncle that was on the low like that. You would never know because he's so thorough. He keep his business to himself. You know what I mean? I can say that because y'all don't even know who he is. You know what I mean? But yeah, he cool as a bitch. Martello, these are the best ones because it's less scratch free where you can show your true colors. You know what I mean? Maybe you're just an American. No matter all those facades that you put up. I'm a racist. I'm a communist. I'm a conservative. I'm a democratic. I'm pro this. But now in the conversation, you're just conversating. You're just a conversationalist. You'll never understand it if it ain't for you. Some of y'all will never get it, Martello, so it's all good. Some people can't understand unless it's fussing and fighting and, you know what I mean? A bunch of babble, because that's what's in y'all. A bunch of y'all got that, still got the Tower of Babel in you when the Anunnaki struck us down. So overcome it, fam. Fambo says, that's my mama. Yeah, good times. What's happening? My favorite that's my mama. I can't remember a good that's my mama, but my favorite good times was when James went to the fucking court to fuck up Mad Dog, warlord of the Satan Knights, because he shot JJ, and when he went there, he saw that Mad Dog and his mama was going through it, and he found out Mad Dog didn't know his daddy like that, and he didn't give a fuck about his daddy. His mama smacked him, pow, pow. So James had compassion as a father in the home. He didn't smash on Mad Dog. He gave him some compassion. You know what I mean? And Mad Dog walked away crying. This shit was just so dramatic to me because I've seen thousands of young black men go through that same thing and be on both sides of the pendulum. I know thousands of good black fathers and thousands of young men that went without fathers. It's just, it is what it is. It is in every community. Silver Spoons was like that too. Shit, I don't want no fat white girl. I don't want no fat woman, period. I like them thick and in shape. It can be a little healthy, but they gotta tighten that shit up. Do some exercise, and that's how my queen run. Is health, thick and healthy. I don't want no fat, and I damn sure don't want no raggedy ass Cadillacs. I like German shit. If she can't get me a motherfucking Maybach, she better stay back. I'm over here in the shade with my queen, laying back. You know what I'm saying? Thea, family ties, Grady, Mission Impossible, Mod Squad, Sanford and Son. Look, do y'all realize that Fred Sanford was the epitome of a single black father? He was raising Lamont alone, and couldn't nobody tell you shit about Lamont. Couldn't nobody do shit to Lamont without Pops coming running. Now that was the epitome of the single black father. When they said that black men didn't raise their kids, that was on a show in the 70s where it wasn't, I mean, the norm. But that show was real. Fred was an entrepreneur, and he installed in his son family values because everybody around him was family. Wasn't nothing going on like they was running a juke joint or nothing. And they had their times, but a little ripple. But he raised his son the best that he could, and his son had his back too. Nobody sees that. Nell Carter, yeah. Three's Company was my shit. Y'all named the two landlords. It was two of them. And Larry seemed it like that too. Okay, Living Single. Living Single was my shit. Queen Latifah, you notice they took the crown off on Latifah and put cornrows on her, and she ain't been back since. Because Latifah was very prolific in the black community for her speaking out for black women. She had that shit, U-N-I-T-Y, that's a unity, U-N-I-T-Y. And she, I mean, who you calling her? And even when I play that, it reminds me of my queen because they strong. They, you know what I mean? And they don't take shit. They don't take shit from you, you know what I'm saying? They fuck with you, they fuck with you. But if they don't, if you try to disrespect, they demand it. They'll check your ass. Latifah was exuding that. She was empowering a lot of black women. Not to mention young black girls, she was empowering them. They took her out of that situation and put her in seemingly supposed to be a better situation. They took the crown off her and put some cornrows on her, put a tank top on, and put her in the 6'4" Robin Banks. Simon and Simon, that was my shit. Simon and Simon, the brothers, Hawk, remember Hawk with that big ass gun? Magnum PI, Hawaii 5-0. Martin Lawrence was crazy with it. My favorite Martin Lawrence, when he was fighting that animal and shit, and then he comes up, yeah, yeah. My homegirl was married to Martin Lawrence. Now she married to Emmett Smith. Aaron Wolf with the helicopter and Bubba Smith. Hogan's Hero, I say nothing, I say nothing, I see nothing. And Colonel Klink was dumb as all outdoors. Smash that light. You say white privilege don't exist. That's what it is, Pino. Food TV was like that. The History Channel was like that too, remember? The History Channel was straight up, you know what I mean? It was European ass history, but it was straight up history. Now, then that shit turned to reality TV. Magnum P.I., yeah, that's one of my favorites too. They never showed who Robin was, did they? Eric Monte. Okay. I thought that was Norman Lear with Good Times. The Equalizer, Fantasy Island, the plane, boss. Yep. Smart guy. Rock was like that. And sister, but Rock. Remember Rock was going against the drug dealer? Chauncey from Boys in the Hood. Was it but no that but not Boys in the Hood, Minister Society. Hey, let me drop one on y'all about Minister Society. How many of y'all are familiar? Chips and Charlie's Angels, Chips Punch. My grandma used to call my little curly headed cousin Punch. Erica Estrada. Jennifer Go Play. Everyone created White God. Let some of their own too long. Burnt and fried their brain too. History Channel used to have history. Well, yep. That Band of Brothers. Yeah, Rock. You know, Rock. Charles Dutton. You know, he was in prison like 20 years before he was on Rock. Colors. Yo, that's one of my favorite joints. Look, Colors. On the beginning of Colors, when goddamn Rocket gets arrested and they take him in the precinct, that shit gangster. Even from when he in the van. They ride in the van and look in the door, they take Rocket to jail and he walk in there and he look over there, he see the niggas from the other side and he throw his set up and they throw their set and he look at the motherfuckers and keep stepping and he start walking down the hallway and they start at Colors. Colors. And they start throwing their sets up and shit. And then when you get to the bars, you see the red and blue. That I ain't never seen no shit like that before. I used to love that shit. The Facts of Life, Kim Fields, Joe Ponachet. Y'all know Joe was LGB. Come on now. Joe was definitely, and Natalie. Natalie too. Where's the beef? You know what I'm saying? Where's the beef? That old lady. Remember, New York City, get a rope. South Central J-Rock. Yeah. South Central was like that. They had everybody wanting to be induced. And that's that scene with the fucking white supremacists. That's a man, Buddha. And Buddha said he wanted that nigga desserts for 10 years. He said 6 months. He said, okay. God damn, you wanted y'all that, but it was real. Trying to make the donuts, yeah. That little white dude. Ed's will have a really good time. The Ed Sullivan shit, yeah. Beretta. My brother used to call me Hoogie Bear. Antonio Fargas, the pimp of the year. He later on became the Dukes of Hazzards. Yeah, who was y'all favorite character on the Dukes of Hazzards, y'all? Who was your favorite character? And don't say Daisy Duke. You male chauvinist pigs. Who was your favorite character on the Dukes of Hazzards? Smash that like, y'all. Daisy. I knew it. I knew it. Somebody's gonna say, damn Daisy. Smash that like. Good luck, Luke. I like J.D. Hall, Roscoe P. Coltrane. You know what I'm saying? They was funny as hell. Smash that like. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children? Really? Okay. Y'all remember Rifleman? You can wait and wait. Wow. You know, a lot of people in the black culture wear Daisy Dukes not even knowing who the person really is. Ain't this crazy? Bonanza was my shit, and Little House. Bonanza, man. Who was your favorite Bonanza character? Lil Joe, Hoss. I mean, I like Big Valley, the Barclays, and also Little House on the Prairie. That was my shit. I used to be dramatic about Little House when Shorty first got blind. I was tripping. I was like, damn. The Rockford Files, Have Gun Will Travel, the Partridge Family, yeah. But Big Valley, that was my shit too. The Barkleys was fighting motherfuckers. Swiss Family Robinson. Hoss was your favorite off of Bonanza. Okay, Hoss big burly ass. He loved his brothers. He'll fight with his brothers, man. All of those shows is about family. And even Victoria Buckley will throw them motherfucking things. The mama and the daughter. They'll throw them things. The mama on the fucking Big Valley, the mama used to be leather. Their budget must have been hell of a because that lady used to always have on straight leather shit. Bring the 80s back when it was more unity. On the 4th, Dallas, god damn, who shot JR? And Bobby Ewing. I mean, JR, Dynasty, Falcon Crest. What was the name of the one that had Vivica A. Fox and it was a black version of those shits? It was the black version of all of that shit. Vivica A. Fox was on it. I like Little House and MASH. Clink. I mean, Happy Days, yep. The Fonzie. Hawkeye, the Radio Man. I like his hat. Soul Food was like that. Soul Food was the quintessential family. Each person that was in that movie, we all have one of those people in our family. And that's what we forget, that we all have things in common more than we don't. But I got to put up some fucking shock therapy for you to come in here. Dynasty was my shit. Blake Carrington. All right. I'll try to get that set up right now. I'm in the process of setting up all of that right now. Would you support that if it was call-ins? And how we went over there and turned on the notifications to know when we will be having these call-ins. All My Children, General Hospital. Yo, remember General Hospital had this shit on lock with even the radio. Remember that? That shit I was saying earlier. Remember that shit? Thank Laura, let's not cry. I know she wanted that way. Hey Laura. Remember Laura and her husband, Luke and Laura? It was Scorpio and Diana. Remember Robert Scorpio and Diana? And then the black, it was Debbie with the dimples and Jesse, I think. Remember that? She used to be Jesse's girl. That's that. Young and the Restless. Who was Asa Buchanan and them on? Asa Buchanan and his peoples. But fucking Last Scrubs is classic with the black dude from the damn Clueless. Yeah, Scrubs is classic. It's funny, but it's dry humor. Scrubs is fucking classic. I stopped watching Grey's Anatomy when they started doing all that ghost shit with Denny and all that stuff. Like, they took the reality of just what goes on the houseboat out of it. You know what I'm saying? Blue Thunder, for sure. With the helicopter. Okay. The Bob Newhart Show. Shit, the Dick Van Dyke. Anybody saying about Dick Van Dyke tripping and shit every goddamn time? And Lucille Ball, Dick Van Dyke, and I Love Lucy. Firefox. That was a classic too. That was a classic United States against Russia. Like the Rocky joint. If he dies, he dies. Dolph Lundgren. I call Dolph Lundgren the Temu Arnold Schwarzenegger. Smash that like. Beyond the Gates. Okay. Smash that light, man. Remember Blockbuster, man? We used to go in there and just Van Damme, the John Clark Van Damme movies. It's a Living. Smash that light, man. Twilight Zone. The what was that one from Amazing Stories? Remember the Amazing Stories? It was two ones I remember. It's the shorty was telling you don't never gamble with this dude because he'll take your fingers and all that shit. And then it was the dude that saved everything he had since he was a young boy. And one day he needed to cash in some coins, and the dude wanted the coffee mug because it was worth millions. And in the end, he was like this billionaire off of everything that of his youth. He didn't want to let it go. I Dream of Jeannie. Wow, how did I forget one of my favorites? I Dream of Jeannie was like that. Bewitched. Esmeralda and them. I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched. The Jeffersons. Yep. You know the Jeffersons, the black lady that was married to a successful like millionaire, billionaire, she really was married to one in real life. That is Al Roker's cousin. Her name is Roxy Roker, and also she is Lenny Kravitz's mother. She was married to Lenny Kravitz Sr., who is a somebody with some money. When the Air Force pilot fly back in time. Was that the one with the gremlin on Street Hawk? Okay. Roxy Roker, yep. Remember Al Roker was fat? Now he looked like, I don't know, his head too big. Yeah, we said it out of Family and the Monsters. Baywatch, All in the Family, one of my favorites. Archie Bunker with his racist eye. Archie Bunker used to tell it how it is though. Remember the episode, my favorite episode is where Archie Bunker was up there with the LGB guy, and his friend was like sending me on a date with the guy, and they were in like Chinese restaurant, and he kind of like, you know what I mean, hee haw, yup. Howdy, hee haw. He turned around and she was gone. That shit used to be funny. 90210 was the shit. 21 Jump Street. Perry Mason in Columbo. Hill Street Blues. Hill Street Blues. That's incredible. Yo, you know that's incredible. Byron Allen used to be up there. The black guy Byron Allen. Now he's a multi-billionaire. He brought the Weather Channel, and he just did something. As of late, took over like the late night slot from these other mainstream people. Byron Allen. Saved by the Bell. Benson. Remember Benson started out as the butler, and in the end he was the governor. Remember? Benson, and he started out as the butler on Soap. Y'all remember Soap? That Benson was a spinoff from Soap. The Jack Benny Show, yup. Dick Van Dyke tripping ass. Bronze, what's going on with you, family? What's up with you? Salute. Yeah, Benson started out as the butler. Bob Hope, variety show, yep, Bob Hope. Hey Alice, Honeymooners, yep. I love Lucy was wild as fuck. The Fresh Prince was very innovative. Lucy was wild as fuck. Remember they was working in that candy joint and the conveyor belt, they was eating the candy and shit. Lucy, she always used to be into some shit, man. That was a Latino and a white lady doing their thing back then, and both of them had their own respective sound stages where they produced. Donnie and Marie, Joni and Chachi, the Osmonds, yeah. Remember on the Jackson 5 was doing a robot with Cher? Cher was doing that thing. Remember Joni and Chachi from Happy Days? Night Tracks, Martin Lawrence. Yeah, Martin Lawrence tore a lot of people up. Schoolhouse Rock, I'm just a bill, and I'm sitting on Capitol Hill. The Schoolhouse Rock, we learned a lot of our stuff from Schoolhouse Rock. And Conjunction Junction, what's your function? I'm working on the Phil Silver Show. Sergeant Bilko, okay. Charlie's Angels. Yep, I saw Sammy Davis Jr. on the Rifleman. The Electric Company. That was about shit. You know, the singer, Rasan Patterson, he used to be on the Electric Company. The Video Jukebox. Merv Griffin. Y'all know the first picture ever shown on Google, because Google used to be all text, was Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo. She had on the green Versace dress, and Diddy was her date that night. That was the first picture. The cop shows when you go, Johnny Carson used to be crazy too. They don't need to remake them. They need to just bring them back. Because my kids have been watching like I just see my kids watching Garfield. Remember Garfield the cat? I was like, what the hell y'all know about his lasagna eating ass? My boos was just watching Garfield. And have y'all noticed that some way they have managed to link the Michael Jackson music with what's going on with Michael Jackson's biopic because it is a resurgence of everything about Michael Jackson. My daughter loves Michael Jackson. She is barely 6. I'm like, how do you know all this? And I turn her on the other thing. I said, well, did you know Michael Jackson had sisters? And she was like, no. And then I show her Latoya. Then I show her Janet. Then I show her Reby. Then I show her even Joe Jackson's illegitimate. I mean, she'll be tripping, but there is a resurgence of American pop culture from the 80s. Phyllis the Cat, Underdog, Aesop's Fables. Cops used to seem fake now. If you watch the cops now, y'all notice that the person driving always get the call where the shit be wild as fuck and you know what I mean? It just seems like those people may be working off some community service reenacting what happened. You know what I'm saying? Mighty Mouse. Oh yeah, where you was at when you saw Michael live? Alfred Hitchcock. Nobody ain't said Alfred tonight. Yep. Alfred ass was creeper Mundo. Hong Kong Fooey with his Kung Fu ass. Gumby, yep. I like Eddie Murphy when he did Gumby. The Wire and Breaking Bad, they're too futuristic though, fam. The old school shits. They still sicking dogs on us. God damn. Yeah, the horse, Pokey. Smash that like. But yeah, see how we took that trip down memory lane as Americans, not comparing who family owned who, we compare who watch what. And we've seen like all of us watch the same shit. Ain't that a bill? A bunch of black, white, bigot, racist, homophobic, misogynistic, super consumer, idealistic, narcissistic, some of us communists. I mean, just hit politics. It still is, you know what I mean? Flintstones, yep. You know, the Flintstones dealt with aliens. They had Kazoo. Remember Kazoo? Kazoo! Remember Kazoo? You know what I'm saying? The Flintstones. In Living Color was funny as a motherfucker. Hollywood Squares. Okay. Hollywood Squares was funny too. That show was crazy. I remember Sell of the Century. It was a game show. That was one of my favorites. Sell of the Century and Jeopardy. That's my favorite show of all time. Jeopardy. Smash that like y'all. Share me out. I lost on Jeopardy, baby. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Shop till you drop. Okay. The Jetsons is now. The Jetsons is Star Trek. MASH, the TV show, yup. Y'all remember the Super Friends? Name that tune, uh-huh. That shit crazy. We old as fuck, y'all. Star Search. Hey yo, a lot of famous people were on Star Search. Like the girl used to play as Monique daughter. She was on Star Search. Aaliyah, you name it. So many people were on Star Search. It makes you wonder now. Family Feud is classic with Richard Dawson. Steve Harvey ain't got nothing on Richard Dawson. The Wonder Twins activated. They got the monkey Gleek. The Wonder Twins, their monkey name was Gleek. Pressure Luck. Thank you for that, JD. JD, can I ask you, are you white? Greetings to the channel. JD, um, are you, I mean, what's your demographics? Thank you very much. Gullah Gullah Island, lunching out. You know, we got Gullah Gullah Island. We got babies on Gullah Gullah Island. You know that. We got family on Gullah Gullah Island. Smash that right. Yep. Back to the Future. Yep, Back to the Future was crazy too. And it was also dope and interesting. The Little Rascals, Spanky, the He-Man, the He-Man Woman Hater Club, Spanky, Alfalfa, Stymie. You know, Stymie from the Little Rascals. He also played on Fred Sanford. He was the bald head guy. He was one of Fred Sanford's friends with Grady. It was the cat from the Little Rascals. Buckwheat, um, Alfalfa, Otay, Sandlot. Yeah, the movie. The One Mexica. Can you further explain that? The One Mexica. Yes, I was lucky to be born in the 80s and experience the 90s as a minor. Okay. White privilege definitely exists. However, I feel that some black people are racist in situations where it ain't actually present. As half Turkish and half Congolese myself, and I'm often felt that. Well, you know, I'm speaking in the American aspect of it because half Turkish and half Congolese, you're not experiencing white privilege, you're experiencing European privilege because the Europeans look at y'all guys as servants. And that's an interesting mix. Congolese and Turkish by way of where Cairo, or how did they get that mix, that Congolese? That's that inner core Africa right there, family. What was it? Was it more Hutu or Twa or you know what I'm saying? Or the Tutsi from that Congolese. And how did that Turkish Congolese? How did y'all get that? Your parents get that mixture? That's a dope combination. Yeah, it was Stammy on the Fred Sanford jump. That's me right there, boy. Newlywed Game. Yo, the Newlywed Game. No, the dating game was off the fucking meat rack. The shit that they was saying on the dating game and the people that was getting picked, that dating game was terrible. I love the dating game. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back and watch old reruns of that shit. Shit, them ladies wanted it. Wow, the dating game was wild. But the newlyweds too, they used to be fussing. Does black on black crime exist? No. That's just a figment of your imagination. Beats the clock. Yup, yup. Why can't you just answer the question? You see what I'm saying? You answer a question with a question. Come on, man. You know that's like Charlie Kirk. You're trying to deflect. Answer the question. Does white privilege exist? Either it does or it doesn't. I mean, but you know that just there to pull you in and see if you would just bite on it, and you did, and you failed the test because that shows you might have some racist tendencies because it sparked anger in you. I was just trying to spark curiosity. Maybe you could have came in with a more educated answer to it. You came in with this black on black premises. Damn. Can you stick to the strip and follow the directions? The question is, does white privilege exist, brother? Mm-mm-mm. The game show that helped Americans, and also got us used to this damn commercial shit. All that, remember the commercials? The game show would be half a game show, half commercials. That's how we got. We want some pudding pops and bubble in the tubble. Y'all remember Mr. Bubble in the tubble, Mr. Bubble, or any of that shit that racetrack, them tail shit, them Hot Wheels and shit from them damn commercial breaks. And the Saturdays they had the craziest commercial breaks, and then you go into your Captain Crunch box and get a submarine out. That all you had to do was put some baking soda in it, and you'll see that big bloop 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 bloop. You know what I'm saying? Now you know what I'm saying? Showtime at the Apollo was classic. Now you had to be home when Apollo came on. You know, a lot of people was on Apollo too. I know a couple of people that was on Apollo. My boy, William Salam was up there. He was up there doing a ventriloquist dummy. And at the end, he was singing like a reggae song or something. I had to go find those old clips of him. And he was a curious character. Now he is a Christian minister, but he grew up as like a Sunni Muslim. You know what I mean? His dad even got a masjid named after him in the Muslim community in my area called the Temple William Salam. And he used to be walking around with the white robes on, selling incense and oils, and you know, giving it up on his Islamic culture. And now he is a mainstream Christian preacher. Shout out William Salam, man. Smash that like. Yup, that pyramid wasn't no joke. American Gladiators for sure. For sure. Them was some built motherfuckers. For sure. What was the black dude name? It was the black dude and the white girl with the blonde hair. I just like them too. What's my line? Yup. Abbott and Costello. For y'all old heads. Abbott and Costello was like that. Yup. You can't do that on television. What was that shit on Nickelodeon with the green slime? Wow. Yeah, Richard Dawson was like that though. He was a ladies' man. You bet your life. Yup. The Green Hornet and Kato. Bruce Lee, Kato was up there with him. Batman and Robin was dope. Wonder Woman with the invisible jet. Wonder Woman. Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. I thought I told you, boy. I'm a soldier, boy. I'm in the middle of the rider. My dad is from the central part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. He is Tatila, and my mom is Turkish from Istanbul. They met in Philadelphia in the 1960s and 80s. While they were okay, were they part of Move in the 1980s with a group called Move? But that's dope. You know what I mean? So when your daddy was living in the Congo, who was in power? Chitela. Is that on the Tutsi side or the so y'all from deep in the Congo where Belgium, y'all you speak Belgium. You know a little Belgian, French, and German. Leopold was deep in that part right there. Did any of your peoples get any reparations from Leopold? Truth or consequences. $6 million man, Steve Austin. The Django, wow. Shit, the original Roots was a classic. All of that shit had a motherfucker on the school bus the next morning waiting for a motherfucker to say something. That shit was crazy. The original Roots was so fucking. That shit stirred the temper. You looking at somebody get they ass whooped and then they toe cut off and so much shit. Moonlight, Remington Steele and Moonlight, two classics. Samuel L. Jackson, yeah, he's Master Window. He's the dude Nick Fury on Shield. He's also he's on so many characters. White privilege has always existed. Problem is, white people don't know it's happening. Wow, that's a quick, curious way to. Can I ask you what's your demographic, John? Are you white? And that's, you know what I mean. I'm gonna pin that. That's a curious way of looking at it, but I understand that Shaka Zulu was crazy with it. Remember when Shaka Zulu came back and took over? I told you. That one was on it. Hey man, Shaka Zulu was crazy. His mama Nandi, damn, they did him wrong. He came back on their ass. Scarecrow and Mrs. King. Remember Get Smart? Who remembers Get Smart? Had to beat some ass on the bus. Tonir, you know you had to beat some ice. Man, they was tripping with that root shit. But you know what? Although it was made up, it gave you a first hand look on what was the possibilities of what have they done. They romanticized it. But what have they done? Get Smart was my shit. Maxwell Smart, Poke Fishing, Agent 99. Remember Inspector Gadget, doo 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 doo. Penny and the Dog Brain, Dragnet, doo doo doo. No, they live in neighborhoods that were cordoned off, seemingly kept put to the side for white people at one time before the advancement of other people that can get lit now. Especially after desegregation, the red line, you know, that's what they call like across the track type of situation where on this side of town it will be more developed than this side of town, and also there was a sort of economic warfare, even housing warfare. All of it was done, and I mean old school Jim Crow laws modified. So now that it's a money crunch, these people that were seemingly hoarding the white privilege, they're selling it. If you can get the credits and debits, you can move anywhere you want to now and won't get no flack. Okay? And if you do get some flack, you can stuff some money down their throat and they'll shut the fuck up. That's what I'm saying. White privilege, it costs money, man. The American dream costs money. The American dream is what? A house, two cars, one of them a soccer van, going on trips and vacations, little kids in soccer and having the amenities, barbecue, and a deep freezer full of steaks and being able to go hunting and fishing, got your own boat. That's the American dream. But guess what, buddy? It costs now. And it been costing. But now with the advent of anybody can get lit, anybody can experience some of that. What was one time white privilege. Now it's, you know what I mean, a matter of money, homie. That's what I'm saying. American Bandstand, right. Dick Clark was like that. What about Casey Kasem? Yes, it is something you can do that I'm not. You can be a white man. I'm not a white man. I'm a black man. That's what you can do. You can eat a lot of mayonnaise. I can't. Not so much. Man, stop saying that. There's so much you can do that I can't. We don't need to hash it up, dog. I'm just trying to start a conversation. You can continue it. Let me see what you got. What can you do that I can't? You gotta answer that. I didn't say about white privilege. You might not be even benefiting from white privilege, but you defended it. That's crazy. Oasis Kasem, right? Remember Wolfman Jack? Dick Tracy, yep. Remember the movie Dick Tracy? That was dope. Dick Tracy and Roger Rabbit. Who framed Roger Rabbit? Barnaby Jones and X Files. Two dope joints. Barnaby Jones and X Files. Pink Panther. Yep. The Pink Panther. Damn. Smash that lighter. Remember America's Funniest Videos? You said, is this? What's going on with you, Tiffany Chanel? Alf? Rocky and Bullwinkle and remember Dick Dastardly and Muttley? Mike Hamble, Columbo, yep. Star Trek, which one? I'm a Star Trek fan. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Yep. Remember, dang. So many. Put it on the hits. Where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Remember the Highlander? Speedy Gonzalez. What was the other little mouse that be with Speedy Gonzalez? Captain Planet, yeah. 106 and Pop, damn Breezy. What was it before? Teen Summit. It was Teen Summit before it was 106 and Pops. And the first people I saw up there was a Escape singing, "Can I get some understanding?" Remember Teen Summit? Remember BET Uncut at night when they went straight porno with the booty shaking videos? That tip drill shit. Must be that ass cause it ain't that face cause you a tip drill. A tip drill. Remember that shit? Y'all don't even remember that. At late at night, BET used to go black strip club porno songs. And Nelly joint Tip Drill was one of the top songs. Power Rangers, yeah. You know one of the Power Rangers went off the blicky. Couple of them did. Yeah, y'all don't remember that shit? The song Tip Drill. Google that shit. Nelly. That used to be a late night classic on BET. White people, you can walk up the street without being racially profiled because they don't racially profile white people. It's only people of color. Hence the racially profiling. You can walk up the street without being racially profiled. That's starting with that, dude. Come on, man. You can actually state a claim, and what a lot of y'all do is say, well, they won't deport me because I'm from Europe. But I ain't never heard a white person say that they were English American. I know German Americans, Irish American, Scottish Americans, but no English Americans. No, I'm American UK. None of that shit. Hood to Hood DVDs. Where we at? Yeah, Hood to Hood DVDs and even Schmidt. Smack all that shit, man. Two Live Crew. What can I get for $10? Hey, we want some Doctor Who. Yep. Me and my homies like to play this game. Some call it Amtrak, but we call it the train. We always line up in a single file line and take our time. Somebody say, yeah. Yeah, you can't even drive. You can't even just chill without being accosted and questioned. You know what I'm saying? Video Soul, Midnight Love, right. We had the, remember every radio station had the late night DJ with a deep voice. This is Tony Tone with the Quiet Storm. Who am I talking to? It's me, Lillian. What's going on, Lillian? Can you play that Freddie Jackson Rock Me Tonight? I sure can. And who you dedicating that to? To my boo Harold. This is for Lillian and Harold, y'all. Freddie Jackson, Rock Me Tonight. Ah! Smash that light. Y'all remember that type shit? We had the Soul Ranger. We had a couple of them motherfuckers, man. But I'm trying to get that one. Oh, yeah, WBLS. Okay, Mr. Magic, Molly Ma, Red Alert. All those old school New York. Frankie Crocker. Was it Frankie Crocker? Arsenio Hall with that long ass finger. Arsenio Hall exposed a lot of hip hop and black culture, R&B and stuff to mainstream America. He had a lot of dope ass people come up there and do their thing. Smash that light. You're right. They don't profile me, but just because they don't try to clean it up. You said one thing that I can do that you can do that I can't do. You can walk down the street without getting profiled. That's the main thing. That's affecting my quality of life, because if you stopping me and holding me up from getting to my quality of life, I might be late for it, or it might be all gone by the time I get there. So what sense does that make? Have a probable cause before you just create a situation. You know what I mean? You asked Todd and I told you. See what I'm saying? Now you don't cat got your tongue down. I have it even worse happen to me, dude. I ain't even, you know what? If I would flip your wig. I had even worse done to me than racially profiling me, dog. By way of, so nah, dog. Saturday Night Live, yep. Classic. Schoolie D, PSK, okay. You definitely are, family. But it's okay to be wrong, though, G. That's what we got to realize. We got to be able to take a L sometime. I mean, even Roy Jones was forced to fall back. You feel me? So that's what we got to learn. We got to be humble in our defeats, as well as our non-fucking um when we conquer something. Humble. Beavis and Butthead. Um, what's the dude? My shit, man. With Billy, Bobby Daddy. What's Bobby Daddy name? Both puppets for all the arts. Okay. What's Bobby Daddy name, man? They be standing outside and shit drinking beer. Smash that like, y'all. Exactly. It's not nothing weak about admitting you wrong. Yeah, King of the Hill. Okay, exactly, Lunch. Kenneth, go sit down. Go take a nap. Look at you, Kenny. You can't even come and say that as an American. I told y'all, I got them trigger words up. Y'all just coming out the woodwords with it. You spitting your PBR out, clicking your boots together with the Spurs. God damn it, I got me one. Come on, Kenny, man. Faye Emerson show. King of the Hill is still making new episodes. I haven't seen it yet. Wow. The original ain't nothing like the original ones that used to be on MTV. Tales from the Crypt. Ain't nobody said that one tonight. Tales from the Crypt. Smash that like. Remember that was a go-to joke when you joke somebody. Yo, keep her the Crypt face. Bart Simpson. Exactly, Bart Simpson. Homer Simpson. Goddamn. Um, what's the one with the hair? The mama. Maggie Simpson. How can I forget the mama name? What's the mama on Simpsons? Madge. Marge. Marge Simpson. Remember the black Bart Simpson was taking over the black community? Everybody had the black Bart Simpson shirt. All the bad kids anyway. Yeah, Marge. Classic. Family Guy. You know the Family Guy. That's the one with the baby Stewie, right? With the little baby, right? And the dog. Y'all notice it's the Oedipus complex there, where the baby hates the mother, but it tries to it kill the mother, but the baby it's like the baby is talking to everybody, but nobody's really talking to the baby or the dog. Y'all ever notice that? You go back and watch it in that perspective that they're not really talking to that baby because it's all in the baby's head where the baby's crying and all that stuff. It's I mean, the Boondocks. I ain't really watched the Boondocks. The Rugrats. Shit, MTV was just strictly videos. Remember? Shit, Devo, Whip it good. Chiller Thriller, Chiller 3 Thunder, Thunder, Thundercats. Oh, who was your favorite Thundercat? My favorite Thundercat was Panthro. Josie and the Pussycats. Yeah, you old as hell. Oh man, smash that like, man. Snarf, of course. Snarf was that little furry animal. I remember what is that? The Land of the Lost, where they was engaging with those reptilian people, and it was two different kinds of them. The Sleestaks. It was the green ones, and then it was the brown ones. The green ones were good, and they dealt with the emeralds and portals and shit. And the Sleestak were the uneducated wild dog ones, and they were brown. Chilling, Jay. What's going on with you, Jay? How's your evening, family? What's up with you? What you been up to? How was your 4th of July? Tiger. Okay, okay. Tiger was your favorite. Family Fair. And Jody and Buffy, the two little kids. If you didn't have GZ Kakuvici pants and the gold chain, don't talk to me. Well, I had, well, my sister had Jordache, Sergio Valente. I had Lee's, AJ jeans, Dungarees, Clark sneakers, Clark boots, Shield and coats. The original Dragon Ball Z was the Monkey Boy, wasn't it? Was Monkey Boy. All good here. Mitch McConnell probably dead though, and Lindsey G might have been poisoned by Russia. They say that Russia is famous for that shit too. They did that. What was that? A Ukrainian or Lithuanian dude like that? They hit his ass with that uranium. Hazel, my three sons. We had the hip huggers. Y'all remember crayons? Sassy Mo, you remember them shoes called crayons? With the light up heels and shit? Crayons. Then they had the jellies and, you know what I'm saying? Leisure suits. Cheetahs. Cheetahs was the fucking classic. When they ran down on the old black dude, he was in the diner with the other lady, and his wife came in and he said, "What the fuck is you doing in here? Why are you not home? Get your motherfucking ass home. Where my car at?" She says, he said, "Give me my keys. Now get your ass home." He said, "Don't be coming fucking with me while I'm trying to enjoy my meal." And the other they said, "Girl, da 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 da." He was on his pimp shit. She shut that shit down. Go Google black pimp on cheetahs. That motherfucker said, what the fuck is you doing? And you got a camera with you, and you better get your motherfucking ass home. Google that shit. Remember that shit? I used to break dance. But it wasn't instead of fighting, it was just cool. All that other shit, that's a myth. People won't not break dance. They would just dance and they end up probably fighting after they break dance. Nope, because it was a bunch of gang culture. The dance, that was a myth that they was using. That's like the gloves up, guns down. Coming to America is a classic. When they stole all that shit and they went back outside and the people had on all that shit. Here's that big hair products make up focus mainly on white. Wasn't until Turbo Malone in 1920 helped lead the way. It was the majority was white. No, I'm talking about when back a couple of years ago, it was a Lithuanian dude, and then it was another dude that was associated with the FSB and the KGB that was Russian, that they got pricked with some Iranian. It was one of those leaders of the country. Maybe it was I'm gonna tell you his name. His name was Lukashevsky or something like that. I swear, knickers, Kolaks, marshmallow shoes. Okay. Kulaks. I said Kolak, sassy. Them Russian kulaks, them big leg pants. My mama used to have some. I used to love to see my mama with them big kulaks on. Okay, you wore the knickers and the marshmallow shoes. Okay, did you have some of them easy walkers? Remember the shoes like Bruce Lee used to wear the little easy walkers? You trying to find a pair of some goddamn some Babo. Remember zips with the Z on the side? Or even kangaroos with the pocket. Or the thick sole Buster Browns with the big but the Scooby Doo's with that big rubber sole, the heel. Smash that light. Iran apparently had a plan to make Trump out to be not long ago. That's why he's had to switch planes. Man, that's subterfuge because Iran ain't got nothing to do with the plane. Then they get the plane for Qatar. It just don't make sense. Lee jackets with patches all over them. Okay, I keep a Levi jacket on hand. You see, I had my Levi jacket on the when I went to the No Kings Day. Anything old school, I probably got it. From Pumas to Adidas tracksuits, Levi's, belt buckles with my name on it. What's up, Captain? Baby dolls, okay, I used to put nickels in my penny loafers with the penny in them. Michael Jackson style. Did you wear the high heel? The high water pants like Michael Jackson? Remember Michael Jackson was no members only jackets. Wow, members only jackets. Okay, sipping on that Angel's Envy and a good cigar. That's what it is. What kind of cigar you smoking tonight? A Churchill, a what? Ankle socks with the laces over. Yo, they tried to send my daughter to school with some of them shits this year. I was like, hell nah. I ain't, hey, they did too old school. It reminded me of my sister. And my daughter looked like my sister. She had on some with the little jokes on them. Yada anniversary. Olivia. Okay. Okay. Olivia. That was Fidel Castro's that where his that was his favorite cigar, wasn't it? The Olivia's. The Reebok pump. You remember the Reebok pump? Was it in the tongue of the shoe that came with the little actual pump? I remember the first Nike Airs. And when they had, remember Nike Flight? Yeah, with the PF Fly assassin. The PF Flyers and the Pro Kids. Smash that like. Remember, it seemed like the only jelly that was out was grape. That's the only jelly that's grape jelly was the king jelly. God damn. Motherfucker bring you a goddamn little packet of strawberry jelly. You got that motherfucker in the cabinet. The jabos with the take the pants, the jabos that could turn it from pants to shorts. Yep, checkerboard lace. The checkerboard shirts, remember? Remember the Coca-Cola shirts? With Coca-Cola going across, and then they came at you with the Pepsi-Cola shits. Y'all remember that? The Coca-Cola had their own clothing brand. Chuck Taylors, yep. Man, candy used to be candy. Look, I was in a store the other day, the same day I went on the water drive, and guess how much one piece of penny candy was 25 cents. I was like, God damn, inflation Habibi is really working this shit. One piece of candy, 25 cents. God, I remember a quarter can get you 6 pieces of candy. Smash that like, man. Remember when you count up some money and then even if it was short, the person unless let you take the odd the even end of it. Go ahead, take one more, put it in. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? This shit, times is hard on the boulevard. Hard, right? What part of the country you in? Smash that like, y'all. I talk to myself when there is no one to talk to. BMC had a yellow butt suit in 1991 MTV Music Awards for performance of shit. 1991, I might have been handcuffing back of a bus 40 bus. Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough. So as we learn, life is hell. Yeah, no different from a salesman. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So shit, I don't think that was me. That maybe not been the Black Money Court. That might have been another BMC. I think that was Prince. It was. See, that was PMC. No, PRN, Prince Roger Nelson. Roger, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Princess Zamunda. Princess Zamunda on their ass. Yeah, because they heating up the earth hard, right? What part of North Carolina they heating the earth up? I think it's these data centers. They don't turn these motherfuckers on, and now you know it's 100 degrees all over the world, not just where you at. That was my favorite shit right there. Insatiable, the McDLT. That was my favorite McDonald's item right there. It came in the white styrofoam shit. One side cold, one side. That's exactly how I fix my burgers now. I do not separate. I do not put that shit together until I put it together. That's crazy. That was my favorite shit. Y'all remember McDonald's sold spaghetti, chicken, and pizza? It was tripping. William Cunningham. Sometimes people have to make things about one thing just to get a conversation out you. So it doesn't mean they're racist. Once you find out the doctrine or whatever they're speaking on, then you can make the assumption. Not by just asking a question, does white privilege exist? And the only thing I got to say about that is a hit dog gonna holler. So it is what it is. Yeah, they done turned us on the grid. All that data center shit, they done something because y'all remember nobody's talking about a couple of fucking months ago you could see the Surreal Borealis, Northern Lights on the East Coast. Come on, what? How was they explaining that? That shit is all the way up there by Alaska, the North Pole somewhere. Why were we seeing it? Like they done flipped some shit. Something ain't right. Okay, okay. You down there by Raleigh. That's what it is. What's the closest mid-level town? Greenville? Fambo, you know that I remember that year when you was at the Pimp of the Year joint and they gave you was got the magnificent glory hole of the year. You were like the glory hole to go to. For all the weird white dudes and everybody, you were the glory hole to go to. They was like, you know what, Fambo is on East 54th Street. Yeah, yeah, right by the George Burns statue. The glory hole from heaven. Remember you got that Glowsboro, okay. Remember you got that glory hole award. They still talking about that glory hole and got there going the deepest, darkest of corners. The deepest, darkest of corners. Where's that fanboy in his glorious, glorious, magnificent glory hole? Smash that line. I'm just fucking with your fam piece of weed. Don't got they gonna dish it out if you can't take it. Glory. The fan glorious glory hole. Gloria Yina says she's there. Gloria Yina says she's there. No, I'm not a conservative. I'm none of that shit. I just like to smoke and chill. Hard right. You know you gotta say no homo with that one. I gotta get like them Harlem boys. You talking about something? I'm gonna flip them. Look at this shit, lunch. Hard right. When you say something like that, you gotta say no homo. That don't sound right to me. I ain't with it. I ain't with it. I ain't with it. That's some democratic socialist shit. You gonna flip somebody? What the fuck, nigga? And did you pay him? Cause you, like you said, you left with all my hookers. Did you pay him? Cause my short is no. Bitch better have my money. So it's all good. If you left with him, you was, you know what I mean, paying like you weigh. Cause you definitely weren't chosen. You was frozen. Your assets, pimp. So did you pay him? You said you left with my itches. Did you pay him? Cause it costs to hit them switches, baby. Them 6'4" hoes that you left the door with. I was sitting back like Daddy Fat Sacks, colder than a polar bear's toenail. Oh well. Waiting for him to make the sale of some of that funky tail. To fam busy. That's all cool, man. You got your little thing. Pleasy, pleasy. Well, take BNC for a fool. Pimpin' been the game. Know what I'm saying? Bucket full sandwich up, cut it like those. Where I might pop up and put my Stacey Adams down, you never know. You know what I'm saying? All I needed was a book bag full of cash and a loaded fofo. I'm out the door. Hey mama, I'll be back. When you coming back, son? I don't know. No, I ain't gonna stick myself. I'm more like the Mac. I sat back like the Mac. The Army coat was black. Nah, I'm more careful than calculated. I don't beat them. I take them to the planetarium, and that's literally. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I had them on the boulevard. I even slid through the bay. I had them in a choke all, and I had them making pay. Peanut butter sandwich, family. That protein, peanut butter. I'm in the process of slimming down, but I ain't trying to. You know what I mean? I'm going. That's that. That's that. You know what I'm saying? Sassy Mo also is a fellow player. She always tip her hat when she come in. Never pretty Tony, more like Goldie, baby. Smooth. I was more like Goldie with a mixture of Kenyatta from Car Wash. Always the visionary, the hopeless militant. You know what I'm saying? I was a mixture. Matter of fact, if you put on any Public Enemy song that would destroy Black Money Corp, I'm a rebel, so I rebel. I always been like heavy into whatever I was interested in, and I indulged in it. If I wanted to play golf, I got some golf clubs and some golf shoes. You understand? There's nothing that I ever limited myself to. The young man that asked me earlier, what can a white man do that I can't? And you know what it is? Nothing. I self Lord and Master. Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. Hell no, I ain't trying to get no Ozemic for what? I'm a workout demon. I know how to get some crunches in and grab some motherfucking 50 pounders and then go grab a curling bar and do what I got to do. That's what weak motherfuckers that wanted the fast way, that know about, I mean, shaping and sculpting themselves. I know how to lose weight. I mean, just cut out whatever's making me gain it. And that includes stress and everything. And that so far, shit, I'm good. My baby's good. I get to lay up on a big, nice old thick old ass her night, big old, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I mean, now I need to take care of the physical. My mental is A1. I mean, the physical, as you get up in age, you got to do just a little bit more every time now. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to get down back to my fighting weight and then sculpt it. See, a lot of y'all start just go straight working out. Nah, make some room for it. You know what I mean? Fools rush in. What's my opinion on passing of Lindsey Graham and the research of Mitch McConnell? I don't know. I ain't got really no opinion on neither one of them because they're so far away from mainstream politics. It's ridiculous. They're just two old guys, man. That they're using as a diversion. I don't got nothing to think about them because I don't even think they could be opinionated on nothing that could affect me unless they wanted to reinstitute slavery like it was when they came in with their old ass. You remember Tiny Little when he was a wrestler on NWA? You know Tiny Little dead too. Y'all remember the little midget on Penitentiary? Y'all remember Penitentiary? When he went in there and knocked that dude girl off and killed her. Dude dirty and half dead. Nope, no feelings about Lindsay. It doesn't affect me. He was just some old politician, fam. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm more mainstream and up to date with it. These older people, it's gonna happen because they like 90 years old. What would you expect? Oh shit, he just no. It was just his time, fam. No matter what, he did what he did. Salute, but nah, no feelings on him. I'm gonna get you, sucker. Dirty mutt. That shit was dope. And remember, what was that? Who was that? That's my theme song. You know what I mean? The Jack of Spade. My homeboy is a famous DJ, and that's his moniker, Jack of Spade. Y'all ever heard of DJ Jack of Spade? He dope. I don't care what Lindsay thought of Joe. He knew him since 1972 because that's how long Joe Biden been in mainstream politics. 1972. I don't care what they thought of each other because that's niggerish gossip. Why is he gossiping about Joe Biden? What's the politics? What did he think about me and my culture and my peoples? What did he do for me and my peoples? I don't give a damn what he thought about Joe Biden. That's the thing. It's always more marketable to talk about what somebody said about somebody else, man. And that's how we'll never get to the problem because we always worrying about what he said about him, not what he can do for you. You know what I mean? Or what has he done for you lately? Okay. One of America's top Lord of War has passed. So, shit. Bring another monkey with a longer tail. This monkey couldn't swing so well. You move out one, there's another one waiting, dude. This is America, right? Right, I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? The Jack of Spade Carrie West one song, yeah. Jack. But it's my homeboy, that's his name is the Jack of Spade, DJ Jack of Spade. And his moniker, Pusha T gave him his personal tag is Keep Grinding Jack in the Pusha T voice. Pusha T did the Keep Grinding rap for him. Keep grinding, Jack. Lindsay Key on the radio station down here. The Williams brothers sweep around your front door before you try to sweep around mine. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. That's one of my favorite gospel songs. Have any of y'all ever watched the scene where the girl, the Suge Avery young lady on Color Purple is hearing her peoples do their thing in church, and the church is hearing her do her thing with the band and shit over at the juke joint, and they collide, and she goes stomping and stepping to the crib, to the church, and her papa heard her coming, and her peoples heard her singing that shit, and when they get in the church, that girl sung that motherfucker that every time I hear it, it sends a chill down my spine. That God is trying to tell you something. Wow. Stephen Colbert, man, I don't want any comedians doing my politics, man. Bad enough we got Donald Trump, man. David says Lindsey Graham was the primary promoter and architect whether the destruction of Gaza, Lebanon. Wow, I give a fleazy. What about Cleveland, Gary, Indiana? You know what I'm saying? Tupelo, man, Mississippi, man. What about America? I don't care about Lebanon right now. Yes, you saying that shit, Tony. That girl, every time I hear that shit, I was in there the other day with my queen and would listen to it. I got touched, man. I felt that. I'm not a God person, but when I was like, see, why haven't I never spoken tongues? That's why church is such a mystery to me, because normally when something like it just, I felt, you know what I mean, good, but I wasn't feeling like East Alabama, not that stuff. I'd be like, because when I used to be in the church and they would do that, I was like, what are they thinking when they do this? Knowing that it's not, what are they thinking? Why? Who, you know what I'm saying? Who cares, Space Dust, who Lindsey Graham is? Now he's worm food. True indeed, he's extremely intelligent, but comedians should entertain me and make me laugh. I want politicians to do politics. You know what I mean? Yes, a lot of us are extremely intelligent. I'm extremely intelligent, But I'm not trying to go do a job of a politician. God is trying to tell you something right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. You know what I'm saying? She blew that bitch down. Like when I heard it the other day, all over again, I felt those, you know what I mean, good vibes resonating, or that it's gonna be alright. Gray skies might appear, but the sun gonna shine, the sun gonna shine, family. Smash that light. Privilege is not getting everything for free while others working their asses off. No, no. Mr. Twister, why you just answered that with so much animosity and aggression? What's your real definition of white privilege? Because a hit dog gonna holler, but a whoop dog ain't gonna bark. Smash that like. It's none of y'all in here, man. Let's get them up, man. Get them up, get them up, get them up. Trump versus Obama. Have Temu communists taking over America? Nobody even reading the title. Have Temu communists taking over America, y'all? If you leave it up to these people that's saying that Donald Trump is the smartest man ever in history, we already got one of those, right? And you see what that's getting us. So explain it to me, and that's what I'm saying. It's not about white and black no more. Because if you got the debits and credits in your account, enough decimals and zeros will get you in any door. So white privilege is for sale, and it has been for a couple of decades now. Yep, getting away with the same crime I go to jail for. When you look in the newspaper, if a young white kid kills somebody, young guy makes a mistake, deserves rehabilitation. If a young black kid kills somebody, crazy black man just rampage. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. It's all in the wording. Like in Europe, it'll be a lot of Lord, Lord, Lord in the Bible. But if you come over to America, it'll be Master, 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 Master. And then if you go further south in America, it'll be Lord and Master. Have you ever peeped that? And Sassimo is right. That's what they say. Right. Donald Trump, he's a pretend Republican. He was a Democrat at one time. All of it on both sides are is some kind of socialist stuff going on. They have managed to infiltrate both sides, and nobody's seeing that. Both of them have socialist, communist type of shit going on. Donald Trump is running around here like he Fidel Castro, Nicola Ceausescu. You know what I'm saying? And even with Obama and the Democratic Party, he's no less like Lech Lewenza and Solidarity out in Poland. Like all these little fronts and groups, man. This shit crazy. Yeah, but that's what gets you the white privilege, money. No matter what color you is now, because some white guy will come in and say, "Well, I ain't getting no white privilege because you're broke. You're just like me. You probably driving a truck from 2012 and still owe 9 payments on it. Like, what's the logic?" I never heard of it. Stop making up stuff. Just ask some real questions. Stop anti-white privilege, right? Stop making, and it does. It's the people that say that it doesn't exist. That's anti-white privilege. It does. But stop making it up. You just made it up, though. The words is in the ideologies that are tools used to keep you oppressed in one form or another, right? Yup. By an alien? Um, in what context? What do you mean? In what context? As a white man, have no privilege other than what I work for. Right? You got to get the money. If I do something crazy, I'll pay for it, just like you or anyone else. But you know the deck is stacked against me. Maybe you'll get bond, but on the flip side of it, more than likely from data and analytics, a black man will be damn near proven guilty and have to prove himself innocent, as opposed to you may be innocent, but find out in the end you're guilty. You understand? Can you follow me? A '97 Chevy. Wow. See what I'm saying? And you still got payments on it, don't you, Lucky? What is it? One of those pups? It's one of them little pup trucks. Why did Obama kill the chef? Was he stealing from the kitchen? Well, I'm glad you admitted that about what happened with Nolan. But why did Obama kill his chef? Was he stealing from the kitchen? Everybody needs to share a big fat doobie of indica marijuana and come together. For sure. But then some of them will get high and won't know how to act and will end up fucking them up. So just go ahead and smoke and just chill and leave me alone and I'll leave you alone. Because all that come together shit, somebody will get high and don't know how to act. You will have to whip his ass. Yeah, I got like 9 days. So stay tuned. I got like 9 days. Well, hard right. You see, we got the Cash App posted. Black Money Trust. I heard a rumor that Obama killed his chef. Yeah, you can't be talking about rumors, dog. You got to know. You can't believe shit. You have to know. You said you heard a rumor. You see what I'm saying? You bring a bone, you will carry a one. I don't like that type of shit. You bring a bone, you'll carry one. You notice what you said? You heard a rumor. You still listening to rumors? Yo, David, you're out of here, dude. That's one thing we don't allow here. You don't disrespect Michelle Obama because she did shit to you. You know that that's not a fucking woman, a man. You out of here, Dave. K Sarah, Dave the drummer. Go get your back fixed. That shit crazy, man. I don't respect that. When you disrespect a man's wife, that show you who you are. You know what I mean? Disrespect is politics, but in knowing that she's not, that's disrespecting every black woman. And that's the only way that we know Barack Obama. That's the only, because that's what he's latching on to, the black culture. He's no less like Black Lives Matter. He's another one. He's just a figurehead. We know him by way of his wife and from how he represented while he was in the White House. But as opposed to how he grew up, on paper, Barack Obama is a white man. But damn, this is wife? Shit. Y'all remember the white boy that joined the Crips and they took him on the drill and the people died and he was the only, yep, he was a bit, his people was out of Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? I forgot his name. He the only one that beat the shit. Cameron Terrell, okay. Yeah, yep. They call him, what they call him, the millionaire Crip. Money talks. Y'all know the dude on Boys in the Hood that shot Ricky. He really went to prison for some gang shit. He wasn't a gang member before he got involved in that movie. And he really went to prison. He got killed by his devil worshiper cellmate. Yep. The guy that had the shotgun on Ricky. Smash that like on Minister Society. Y'all ever thought about that? Maybe Old Dog and Kane was the same person. Maybe Old Dog was Kane's alter ego when he went, because a lot of times when that granddaddy was talking to them, Old Dog was like oblivious to it, and it also was oblivious to him. It was mainly directed to Kane. And then when he beat up that dude, it's like certain things that was that really just Kane's inner psyche. Even with like when they at the end, my wife is in the cafeteria supervisor for the less privileged elementary school, and the best thing Michelle did was make school food high quality, still adopted this day, right? Salute hard, right? Salute. The project were created by the Dems. Look, no, those projects was created by the Black Panthers. And what projects? The low income houses. The projects was created by the Europeans. That's where they used to put the Jews at. The European Hebrews. The ones they call Jews, they used to put them in projects. And in ghettos. Go look that up. And come to find out, 75% of the original Hebrews and Jews were actually just black Moriscos and Jacobites. Smash that like. Shit. Him and half the other black men and men in general that were civil rights violated throughout this 250 years that we existed. Y'all notice that 250 years ain't shit. If you think about it, United States ain't that old. Think about that shit. 250 years. Go back like 4 grandmas. If one of your grandmas was 90 years old, shit, that's 1/3 of the 250, ain't it? 90 years old. So go back to her grandma and then her grandma. Ain't this crazy? The project was the white people before redlining came into play, and they really were supposed to be for veterans, right? Right after World War II, and around the time when they was trying to get America back after the Dust Bowl and the stock market crash in 1929. I just told y'all that Jews lived in the projects in Germany. But these, I'm talking about not the Jews that Hitler and them violated, because that wasn't the first time that they violated the Jews. They always used to get mad with them because couldn't understand that these people are making money because y'all patronage all their shops. They got all the fucking kosher meat. They're good at lending money and all this shit. It envy. They over there with everything. You know what I'm saying? Their culture was different. And like I said, half of them was black. Huguenots, Jacobians. Thank you there, Rambling Rick. What's going on with you this evening? What part of the country you from? And I like that you came in with a direct answer. That's what it is. Rambling Rick says, no, white privilege does not exist. Equal opportunity. You just have to work hard. Salute, family. Rambling Rick, are you an American? Oh, you from Cali, my G? Up north or down south? That'll give me the vibe. So Neil said some bullshit, Rick. We got to get the call in set up. Would y'all rather do it from here like we're doing it now, or maybe drop the link so people can hit the link and come up like on StreamYard? What would y'all prefer, a call in number or StreamYard, or even just do it on Discord? You take a white man and a black man with the same education to a job interview, the white man will get the job first. I believe that. Nepotism. Easier to be controlled. Safer route. Can you give me some information on Larry Sinclair, Sunset Farms? Is that the guy that said he was smoking dope and doing drugs with Obama? Because if that is him, I'll give you my thinking on it. The projects ain't no hindrance. Everybody I know they come from the projects are overachievers. They're not in the projects no more. Okay, okay. So StreamYard, where you drop the link and you come on up. Okay. It ain't got nothing to do with the projects. The projects are not synonymous with black people. Chilling up, Jerry Garcia. What's up with you, family? Coolin', how's your evening? Anybody can't see you, Otis. Right. I'm saying a creative crime to where most of the system is black. Man, it's pinpointing crime too. It's taking out a whole voting block. It's doing so much. Deactivating warriors, monitoring them. Know what I mean? Stifling their growth. It's doing a lot right there. We'll control them. That's that Willie Lynch shit, y'all. Yeah, a lot of Europeans, they have their, you know what I mean? You tell me, Charlie. Y'all remember Sorry Charlie? Soho and Dumbo. Okay, thank you for your opinion, Charlie. No, Sorry Charlie was tuna fish, man. Cat food was Morris the cat, man. You tripping? Fucking smash that like y'all. Morris the cat, man. That Mandela effect. That Fruity Loom shit is crazy. No, DEI was created to empower white women, and they reap the benefits of DEI, and that would crush the white family. When the white woman got out of the household and she didn't have to depend on the husband, she created her own vision of the world and made new friends and got sassy on them, and that's what his problem was. It was made to benefit white women. Anything that's made to benefit any American is always designed to benefit the majority, not the minorities. That's why you know EBT and all that shit is affecting white people. That's the only reason they're talking about it. They don't talk about shit that's dealing with minorities. They get rid of it. You understand what I'm saying? Smash that like y'all. Hey y'all, we gotta wrap this up. Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the rooms? My Juju rooms. What's up, boo? I'm gonna chop it up with y'all later, man. Smash that like. Shout out everybody that came through.